What's good, everybody? It's BBKDRAGOON here with 3 concerns that I have for Destiny 2. Now, last night when we were streaming, I had a great conversation with the chat about some of the Destiny 2 concerns that we as a community sort of share, right? Obviously, as a mainly Destiny YouTuber, there's sort of the facade that you need to always be optimistic and energetic and positive about the game that you're uploading. I think it's pretty safe to have some healthy levels of caution regarding Destiny 2. You know, we've gone through the Destiny 1 experience together, but there are just a handful of things that if Destiny 2 cannot deliver on, it's going to massively impact player engagement and how long people spend with the game after launch. And that includes myself. As much as I really like Destiny, these concerns worry me. They're not keeping me up at night, but let's just dive into it. The first thing I'm concerned about is connection quality. Obviously, Destiny 1 has been notorious for bad connection in terms of PvP and even in raid experiences. It's a peer-to-peer connection system, and it's become almost meme-worthy, the amount of teleportation and lag that people experience in games. I mean, even in fact, last night we were streaming some Iron Banner. 1 in 5 games was almost unplayable because of just ridiculous teleportation, shots not registering, things connecting like 3 seconds after you're dead. It's just weird. Now, with Destiny 2, we have a hybrid network solution, which means it's kind of peer-to-peer. It's kind of dedicated servers, but it's still maintaining peer-to-peer for the most part. But man, this is make or break for me. I think a lot of the Destiny 1 community are looking at Bungie and go, all right, it's time to put up. It's time to really improve these areas that the community has been frustrated about for 3 years and always being pushed back with the sort of rumor that, hey, their engine and their development tools just aren't capable of keeping up. Just wait for Destiny 2 and you'll definitely see big improvements. But for me, man, if they do not resolve the lag issues from Destiny 1 going into the sequel, you are going to see huge player base drop off, including a lot of the diehard fans. That would be me and a handful of you guys, I'm sure, who are going here, yeah, if it's not sharply better, I'm out. Second thing I'm really nervous about is content delivery. I would say this is Destiny 1's biggest problem. Everything funnels you in Destiny towards endgame, and the endgame currently is Nightfalls, Raids, and Trials of Osiris. And out of those 3, the most successful has been Trials of Osiris, as Bungie has relied heavily on PvP to keep their endgame engagement circle alive. Raids, after a few completions, you pretty much have all the gear that you would want for it, and there's no reason to continue going for it. There's no long-term carrots on a stick for you to pursue. More so, you're only seeing the addition of a few strikes per expansion, and strikes are not something that keep players engaged for 6, 7, 8 months after release. Now, we've heard from the Activision Blizzard earnings calls that they have really invested in additional studios like High Moon and Vicarious Visions to help Bungie deliver more content regularly to players after the release of the main Destiny 2. But are we really going to see that, and how? I got a little bit worried at the Destiny 2 reveal when they didn't really talk about any new endgame progression cycles at all. It still sounds like it's going to be raids and nightfalls, and in terms of raids, they said 1 raid. A raid. 1. Their most successful content. Bungie. Now I'm gonna wait until Destiny 2, but you know your best content is raiding. The biggest excuse or the biggest justification for the lack of content in Destiny 1 has always come back to the rumor that their development tools were terrible, and that the engine was so unruly that it took them forever to add new content. Well, if that's the case, then we have high expectations for Destiny 2 to see that changed. Obviously, it's still running the same engine, just improved, and hopefully on the back end, the engineers have done what they need to do to allow Bungie to deliver content more regularly. For an investment-type game, Destiny can't survive on 2.5 weeks of content every 7 to 8 months, per each expansion release. And finally, my last concern happens to be the story itself. Now, I'm not even going to bother going into narrative storytelling styles. In a future video, we'll talk about how Bungie has directly said Dark Souls very much influenced the storytelling style of Destiny. And does that work? Is it successful? I'm going to bring in my good buddy Lurker Zero to talk with you guys about that. But I'm just going to talk purely about the campaign missions themselves. Where's the old Bungie? Where are these moments? Where are these experiences? This is what I fell in love with Bungie for. These are experiences that players never forget. Epic set pieces, massive fights, incredible progression from one point to the next. A grand story arc with characters that you generally cared about. Yet in Destiny, you have a jumbled mess of these short little segmented just wave clears. I was keenly reminded of this when I was leveling up my Hunter character on the PS4. I was able to beat the Rise of Iron story campaign missions in under an hour. One of those missions you can beat in 5 minutes. It's literally walk through patrol zone, hold X, and then fight one wave of enemies. I just have a hard time believing that Bungie ships these expansions or even Destiny 1 and goes, this is the experience we wanted to deliver players in terms of a story and great mission design. Because they have such a rich legacy of incredible missions and awesome story design. From the Homecoming mission footage that we saw from the reveal, it doesn't look like Destiny 2 mission structure is going to vary all that much. Now it looks like you have NPCs that are going to be fighting alongside you, which is cool. I just hope we see some of those giant grand set pieces that we saw back in the Halo series and those really awesome experiences that it delivered. I have very high hopes for Destiny 2. I know that's weird to say after what is coming across probably as a semi-rant video. It's just genuine concerns from a player who loves Destiny, sees the insane potential in it, and wants it to succeed as much as possible. What are some of your concerns or thoughts about this video or topic in particular? I'd love to hear it. If you're a Destiny player and dropped off the bandwagon for a particular reason, share it. Let's hear why and what you hope to see different in Destiny 2. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you next time.